Hey, what's up, everyone? Jonathan Allen here at Floodwater Studios, and today we're going to be talking about one of the best plugins that PreSonus has built in, the Fat Channel. Let's hop into it.
You calculate every word that comes from your mouth.
Oh, by the way, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear and see all of the videos and happenings at Floodwater. So I've said multiple times that third-party plugins are awesome. You can get really great third-party plugins, but don't sleep on the stock plugins that come with your DAW, no matter which one that you're working with. I personally use Studio One, and this one is just amazing. The Fat plugin, the Fat Channel, it's got so much to offer in one plugin. Let's take a look at it real quick here. So we're in a session. This is a song that I had put out last October, and this album was the Wishful Forgetting album that I had put out. If you haven't listened to anything from that, I'll have a link up in the corner here. Check it out. If you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It's on all streaming platforms if you want to take a look, but we're not here about that right now. So the Fat Channel itself, one thing we want to do, we are going to open our Browse tab down here, and we're going to look for PreSonus. So we have PreSonus. We're going to open that up. Everything's alphabetized. So we have the Fat Channel. So one thing that we can do is if you right-click on the Fat Channel, hit Favorite, because you're going to want to keep this as one of your favorites once you start using it. Now, anytime you go into your Browse window and go into the effects, right here you have your Favorites tab. When you open that, you have the Fat Channel right there ready to go. You can do that with any plugin, stock plugins, third-party plugins, whatever you have loaded up. You can favorite anything. You can always find it right there. So let's listen to the beginning of the song here real quick. And this is just how the song starts out. And it's just simple pad, simple piano, and a vocal.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself.
So let's listen to just the vocal real quick. Now, this is in a folder which has a slight compression on it, but we're going to turn that off just so we can hear the vocal itself. It's also got a little bit of verb on it. We're going to turn that off. This is just raw vocal.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself.
So, as you can see, and I've spoken about this a ton before, is I recorded at a very, very conservative level here for this. So it's not very loud. Now, this does have some tuning on it just because of the final product, but other than that, right now it's just a raw, stripped down vocal, no effects, nothing at all. So let's throw the Fat Channel on here and dive into what it looks like. So the Fat Channel, we've got 4 main components. First one being the high pass filter or gate. Then you have a compressor section, an equalizer section, and a limiter. If you want to get, jump in all of those, you can use all of them. You can pick and choose what you'd like. If you'd only want the compressor on, you just turn that on. If you want compressor and EQ, you turn them both on. If you want the EQ before the compression, just click the little button here for the arrows, and it swaps them. So if you want to EQ it first and then compress it, you can do that, vice versa. Normally, I kind of keep it where it's at, compressor first. It all depends. Everything is case by case when we're working in the studio. So one thing that I like to point out is you can go back and forth clicking on each one to grab what you're looking at. If you click this hamburger menu here, it's going to pop it open. You get everything all at once. So here we have the high pass filter, gate, compressor, EQ, limiter, as you can see. Now, one thing that you do get if you subscribe to PreSonus Sphere, which I'm not sponsored by PreSonus. It's just something that I use. $15 a month, not too terrible, and you get all updates, tons of plugins, tons of sound sets, everything kind of thrown, everything they make, it just, you have at your disposal there. You get a whole bunch of different types of compressors and a whole bunch of different types of equalizers that you can choose from and take a look through, and each one has its own special characteristics and flavor for things. It's a really great tool for everything. So let's make this vocal sound a little better. So we have the fat channel here. We have the compressor on. I'm going to grab the compressor that I like to use on vocals, which is this tube compressor. I think it sounds pretty good how it reacts. You get the warmth for the simulation for the tubes. It's very nice. So let's pop back to the front here and just kind of listen and make the adjustments we need to.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself either. If you hide your heart, can you hide mine too? It was yours from the start. So do what you do. What can you do? If you...
Okay, so as we can see, threshold's pretty decent. It's not a crazy amount. Got this around 3 or 4 to 1 for the ratio in itself. Kind of faster attack time, pretty fast release time. Just pulling the gain up slightly just so we can get everything up to level. We have some room to work with here with the actual fader. We can change if we want. It's at 0 dB right now. I don't like to go above 0, so what I would do is really hit the gain knob up here if we want to get that boosted even more, and then mess with the compressor after that also. So we have the compressor set. I think it sounds pretty good for what it is here. Let's take a look at EQ. Now, one thing that I like for the EQ is the vintage EQ. I tend to use this thing a lot on everything. So no matter what I'm working on, this vintage EQ tends to make an appearance for things. There's not a whole lot of options, so you can't dial in specific things like you could with a graphic EQ where you can kind of move all over the place. But it gives you enough options to be dangerous for things. So your low frequencies, you can choose either 220 hertz, 110, 60, 35, and then from here you can attenuate, you can boost, whatever you're looking for. Low mid frequencies, 1.6, 700, 360. Again, high mids, you have your 7.2, 48K, and 3.2K, or 4.8K and 3.2K. And then just the high frequencies themselves. Now, it doesn't specify what the high frequencies are. Not sure if we can right-click and it shows us, but it's just really kind of some shimmer, just some presence that's boosted up into everything. So let's take a listen and see if we can EQ my vocal a little bit, make it sound a little bit better here.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself either. If you hide your heart.
So the vocal technique I was going for on this song, everything's a bit more airy. It's a sad song, obviously, if you can't tell by the lyrics. But it's just trying to get not raspy, but the air push with everything. So boosting those higher frequencies helps that air sound come through, and it really helps just kind of sit exactly where I was hearing things for the mix. So The high pass filter. Always throw a high pass filter on my vocals. Normally take it up around to about 150 and then kind of work from there. If there's any lower end rumble for something, we can address that obviously going forward. So we have everything set how I like it for the compressor and for the EQ. Now let's take a listen, because we still may need to boost the level a little bit here. So let's go back here.
If you
Let's unsolo everything so we can hear with the instruments.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself either.
So it's not terrible in the mix. I'm going to throw this little compressor back on, which this is a Waves SSL comp. If I play it back, you can see it's not doing a whole lot of work here. Really just the slight tighten for the very end.
If you leave me, can I come with you?
So I could probably just get rid of it, sure. Now, it gets a little louder for the vocals in the song going throughout, but it's not doing anything here really, so we're not going to worry about that. Let's turn the verb back on real quick, because that is always going to push everything back in the mix just a little bit. The more reverb you add, the less present things are. So always keep that in mind. This is what we have then with the verb and that other little compressor on.
If you leave me, can I come with you? 'Cause I can't stand myself either. If you hide your heart, can you hide mine too? It was yours from the start. So do what you do. What can you do?
Let's let it keep going and see how it sounds with everything else.
Please don't go. Don't know what to say, but here we are.
Alright, so when everything else kicks in, we start to lose the level for the vocal. So, I mean, if you wanted to, what you could do is in your fat channel here, you could grab the gain, the makeup gain, and kind of push that out. And let's listen to it. Let's see what it sounds like.
Please don't go. Don't know what to say, but here we are.
So you can do that. That's not... It's up to you. I mean, obviously, it's an option. It's gain. It's volume. You can boost that. But you're going to make your compressor any flaws that may be in the compression aspect itself, you're going to bring that out even more. So let's take a look at actually this gain knob here, and we'll see how we can get it to go to level with that, having the compressor kind of work exactly how we set it already.
Please don't go. Don't know what to say, but here we are. Could this be the day that we make our scars? Don't let it end this way.
So I think that sounds pretty good. Now that's a pretty big boost to 6 decibels. I mean, sometimes you have to. When we're recording at conservative levels, that means we're going to have to boost some volumes to get everything to sit where it needs to sit and make sure things fall back where they need to fall back. You're always going to have to adjust levels. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to the recording studio. But I like how this is sitting right now. Now, again, the Fat Channel, it's got so many features in it, so powerful. I highly suggest that you, if you use Studio One, check it out a little bit more. Like I said, everyone gets fixated on third-party plugins and Waves and Slate. I mean, look, I've got all the Slate stuff. I'm subscribed with Slate. I do have a ton of Wave stuff, but I always find myself popping back into PreSonus, grabbing that fat channel, and really messing with things. Now on drums, I tend to use this EQ still. Like I said, it kind of makes an appearance on everything. But on the compressor side of things, drums-wise, I really like this British compressor. Acts a little bit differently, reacts a little bit differently, kind of tightens up some drums how you need that to go. On bass, I've used the tube compressor here. We've got different options. The classic comp I've used multiple times as well. Everything kind of has its own place and its own flavor. But really explore the FET compressor. I've been known to slap it on all and just have fun. So whatever works best for you. And if you have kind of like that favorite outboard gear compressor or EQ that you have really been wanting to mess with, and you just can't afford it, you don't have the option to get your hands on the gear itself, these are modeled right after those, and they really, really, really shine. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. If you guys have any other questions or comments, go ahead and drop something down in the comments section here. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you see all of the videos that are coming out from Floodwater. And we appreciate you hanging out with us. We hope you have a great night.
The leaves are